Muslim immigration or Jewish safety? Western Europe made the wrong choice. And if you think, okay, that's a Jewish problem, you're wrong. Big time. Because this is about something much bigger. But let's start small. A 9-year-old Jewish girl in Belgium went to the doctor. The doctor, Kasim Al-Kawazi, wrote in her diagnosis, in her medical record, Jewish Israeli. A rabbi walking with his son in France was attacked. Another rabbi in Orleans was attacked. AJS surveys show that 60% of French Jews have experienced antisemitism. Most Jewish students hide their identity. And not just students. Jews in general hide Jewish symbols. They put the mezuzah inside the home. They wear a hat over their kippah. They avoid speaking Hebrew in the streets. There are whole neighborhoods dominated by Muslims where Jews simply don't walk. Jews even change their last names in taxi acts so nobody will suspect they are Jewish. There is heavy security around every Jewish institution. This is Jewish life in Western Europe. It has been like this for decades. In the past 2 years, it's gotten much worse. But the decline has been going on for a very long time. Here is a short list of deadly attacks against Jews in France alone. The murder of Sebastian Selam, the kidnapping and torture of Ilan Halimi, the Toulouse attack where 4 Jews were killed, the Hyper Kasher attack where another 4 Jews were killed, the murder of Miri Knoll, the murder of Sarah Halimi. Now I will say something that will make some of you uncomfortable. So please get uncomfortable, because the truth isn't pleasant. All of these attacks were carried out by Muslims. In some cases, French authorities tried to cover it up, pretending these killers were just mentally ill. Funny, have you ever heard of a mentally ill Jew murdering a Muslim? Probably not. Ever heard of a Jew murdering Muslims in Europe? No. Muslims don't need to hide their identity in fear of being attacked by Jews. There is no armed security at mosque entrance, afraid the Jew will storm in and carry out a massacre. Violence here goes one way. Muslims attack Jews. And here is a little side note. Jews are accused of the worst violent crimes imaginable. Genocide, ethnic cleansing, starvation. But in your countries, in Western Europe or anywhere else in the world, who is more violent? The Jewish community or the Muslim community? If there are riots, and right now riots in Italy, who is breaking, burning, and destroying? Jews or the other side? You already know the answer. That's true in India, in Australia, in the US, and in every Western European country. So yes, there is certainly violence against Jews. And it comes mostly from the Muslim community. Why should you care? Good question. You should care because if Jews are not safe, if Jews are living, that's a very bad sign. Jews are the canary in the coal mine. In the 19th century, miners brought canaries underground because the birds were sensitive to toxic gas and low oxygen. If the canary collapsed or died, it meant get out fast. Jews play the same role in society. They are always at the front line, but also the most vulnerable. There is this comment I often get, a copy-paste one: Jews were expelled from 109 countries, as if that proves Jews are the problem. It's the opposite. When a society expels its Jews, the society is going downhill. You want to live in a country where Jews feel safe. Why? Because Jews are a peaceful, successful minority that brings progress wherever they go. How can I say that? Because it is true. Let me give you one example. 22% of all Nobel Prize winners are Jewish. Am I saying that Jews are the chosen people? No, God said that. You can believe whatever you want. I don't bring God into my videos because everyone thinks God is on their side. And God has way too many self-appointed spokesmen. But back to the point. Violence against Jews spills over to non-Jews as well. And this brings us to the main point. First, the Jews don't feel safe. And then, everyone else. In France and Germany, there have been quite a few terror attacks. None of them carried out by Jews, which is a bit strange. I can think of about 6 million reasons for Jews to carry out terror attacks in Germany, but it doesn't happen. Now, let's talk about women's rights. I will start with a sentence I've never heard anyone say, even though it is true all over Western Europe. If feminists really cared about women's rights, they would be the loudest voices against Muslim immigration. I wonder, in your country, France, Denmark, Holland, Germany, Wisconsin, England, Sweden, are there feminists raising this point? Or do most of them stay silent because it is not politically correct? What am I basing this on? On official EU statistics and others. I will leave the links below. But before I start, here is a little challenge. See if you can notice the missing word. In 2019, 63% of sexual assaults on public transportation in Paris were committed by foreigners. In 2023, of the 97 rapes on the streets of Paris, 30 cases were solved. Among the 36 suspects, 28 were foreign nationals. In 2016, hundreds of rapes in Cologne were carried out by migrant groups. Of the 153 suspects, 103 were Moroccan or Algerian. In 2016, Austrian police arrested 9 Iraqi asylum seekers for gang raping a German woman. In Sweden, 60% of rapes leading to convictions between 2000 and 2015 were committed by first and second generation immigrants. In Spain, 45% of sexual assault convictions in 2021 were foreigners. In Germany, 37% of rape and sexual assault suspects in 2017 were foreigners. Did you notice the word missing from all the official statistics? One last example, this time very clear. Denmark. Look at this graph. It shows crime rates. I don't understand Danish, and I assume 99% of you don't either. But it's obvious one group is responsible for far more crime than others. That group is called MEN-APT countries. I've never heard the term, so I checked. It means Middle East, North Africa, Afghanistan, Pakistan, and Turkey. Let's all say together the word that all these statistics try to hide behind polite terms like foreigners, immigrants, people born in the Middle East, asylum seekers. Let's call it by its real name: Muslims. The reason women in Sweden are less safe today than 30 years ago is not because of a wave of refugees from China. The violent assaults in Paris aren't committed by immigrants from Canada. So do I dare to say it? Yes, because the safety of Jews and women matters more to me than political correctness. And to solve the problem, you first need to name it. In my view, anyone who claims to care about women's rights and women's safety must explain their criminal silence around this topic. Don't like what I say? Great. You can call me names, you can hate Israel all the way up to the heavens. But you also know this. If your 18-year-old daughter has to walk home late at night and she has 2 routes, one through a Jewish neighborhood, one through a Muslim neighborhood, you know exactly which way you will tell her to go. By the way, why did I bring up Denmark? Because there is a very interesting case that involves Palestinians, Denmark, and crime. In 1992, Denmark accepted 321 Palestinians. In 2019, the government checked what became of them. Here is what they found. 204 had criminal convictions. 71 went to prison. 176 lived on welfare. Their children, 337 convictions. 132 imprisoned. 372 on welfare. Pretty crazy. The numbers are as clear as day in all Western European countries. Muslim communities are far more violent. Jews are the first to pay the price with their lives, and women are the next group to suffer. They already are. Don't like it? Prove me wrong. So even if you don't care about Jews, I hope you care about women. Actually, let me rephrase. I'm sure you will say you care about women. So prove that you care about women more than you care about being politically correct. How did we reach a point where stating something this obvious is considered controversial? If you want to understand that, subscribe to my channel. I have a lot more to say. One of my next videos will be about the lie of multiculturalism. Another will be about a country I haven't even mentioned yet, China, and how it ties into the conflict. It's going to be interesting. I want to thank all my supporters. Because of you, I can dedicate all my time, well, all the time I'm not working in the garden, to making these videos. See you soon. Yalla bye.